Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Anne. This is Centrolutions_ME. We talk about affordable fragrances here. So if that's the kind of content you like, then you're in the right place. So today guys, we are talking about Voux Elegante from Emer, and this is from the Paris Corner Fragrance House. It's a Middle Eastern fragrance, by the way, and this is supposed to be duping Xerjoff's Naxos 1861. So if you know about that perfume, then this is supposed to be replicating that. And I will talk to you about this in comparison to the two formulations of the Xerjoff Naxos, because I understand that it was recently either reformulated or repackaged, but I think reformulated because the older one I smelled is totally not totally different, but there are some differences to the new one. But before we start, if you haven't subscribed, please click the button so you join the wonderful fragrance family. Let's get into it. So they all have the same notes. I mean, if I'm comparing this with the two Xerjoff formulations, which I will show on the screen, they have cinnamon, lavender, honey, jasmine, bergamot, tobacco, vanilla, cardamom, lemon, cashmere, and tonka bean. So when you spray the first edition of the Xerjoff Naxos, which is this one, it's a richer, more indulgent formulation, for want of a better word. Yes, similar notes to this new repackaged one, but it felt richer, it felt creamier, it actually felt heavier on the tobacco. So I got that tobacco nuance more strongly. I got the vanilla in terms of richness and thickness and creaminess. I got all of that from this perfume. In the newer repackaged version, I feel like the tobacco is a little watered down. I also feel like it's not quite as refined as the original formulation. So those would be the slight differences between the two formulations, okay? Now, when I look at Emer, that's the Voux Elegante Emer, I would say that it smells more similar to the newer formulation of Xerjoff's Naxos. But the difference would be that Naxos has a creamier, even though it's not as creamy as the older version, but it's still creamier, warmer, more well blended than Voux Elegante, in my humble opinion, that is. And the tobacco note actually, again, is more prominent than in here. That's the slight difference. However, how does this perfume smell in general? It smells like sweet honeyed lavender. That is what you're going to get. So in the opening, there's a bit of a citrusy scent that comes with a sweet honeyed lavender. And then it dries into a warm, spicy vanilla with a very slight hint of tobacco. If someone tells you, or if someone doesn't tell you there's tobacco here, you might miss it. So it's not very prominent, okay? So you have a slight tobacco and a little bit of tonka sweetness. There's also a little bit of soapiness in the middle to me, and that is coming most likely from the jasmine. So you're going to get a soapy feel here. You're going to get some citrus, which is in the opening. You're getting some honey, some cinnamon, and lavender from this perfume. And then you're also going to get a little bit of sweetness from the tonka bean. That's what I get from this. Now, when I compared this to Xerjoff's, that's the second formulation, the Naxos, I found that one had a bit of earthiness. Even though there was no patchouli written in the notes, it just felt a bit earthy to me somehow. And that earthiness lasted through the duration. And it felt like an earthy patchouli. Not prominent, but just somewhere in the background. I don't know. I got that from this. This Voux Elegante does not necessarily have that. So I found that that might be a difference between the two as well. In terms of similarity, I would say that this is about 75% similar to the newer Xerjoff Naxos, the repackaged one. It's about 75% similar if you ask me. And so if you wanted an idea of what that perfume smells like, because it's quite expensive, I think this will do the trick. It has that lavender, vanilla, citrus DNA. For projection and sillage, I would say the first formulation of Xerjoff Naxos was the bomb. Projected, lasted, beast mode, everything. That perfume was perfection. It kind of leaned a bit more masculine though, but it was perfect in all ramifications. Now, the newer repackaged version disappointed me a bit because it only projected for about 45 minutes on my skin, after which it became a skin scent. Didn't really leave a trail per se, and I wasn't just impressed with the performance of that perfume. For this one, which is the Voux Elegante, interestingly, it projects quite well on me. It leaves a beautiful little scent trail. Yeah, and it performs, well, fairly well. So I would say I got about 3 hours, between 2-3 hours on skin with this, and maybe about 6 hours on my clothes. But I had to really spray it for, to get that effect. I had to spray, I'm sure, up to like 8 to 10 sprays to get that effect. So there you have it. I would say that in summary, this is a lavender, honey, tobacco, vanilla perfume. I think this is really powerful. It's a very powerful scent. I find it leans more masculine, and that's because there's some notes in here that feel a bit more masculine. When you have things like tobacco, lavender, then the cinnamon as well tends to sort of give you that spiciness that you get from a masculine scent. So yeah, it leans a bit more masculine, but it's a perfume that a woman can very easily pull off as well. So I'm not saying that it leans masculine for you to think it's 100% masculine. I feel like if you can accommodate a perfume like YSL's Libre, there's no reason you can't use this one. It's all lavender, vanilla, by the way. Okay, guys, there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Voux Elegante. Like I said, 75% similar to the real deal. And if you ask me, I will not spend money on this new packaged formulation of Xerjoff. No, I'll just buy this and call it a day. Let me know your thoughts if you've used this, and I'll see you in the comments. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Bye.